Good. Okay, we're going to start with our floor stretch next. Butterfly, nose to your toes. If you take any of my jazz classes, you can do this too. It's not just for acro. So we're going to get a nice, good warm up. Good. And sit up tall. Put your hand on your left knee and push and twist towards, well, in my case, down the driveway. Okay? Good. We're opening up those hips. We're trying to get those knees on the floor. And switch to the other side. Press down and turn to the other side. That would be towards Miss Jenny's car. Good. And reach those arms up above your head. And gently stretch them all the way out in front of you and hold. Now, if you are in my Tiny Rockstar Acros, some of these are a little more advanced, but we might as well just let them do it because I'm doing this video for all of my classes. So they can follow along as best they can. Good. And sit up tall. Hug your nose into your knees. And stretch out the back of your neck. Now in this exercise, what we're gonna do next, I wanna make sure their heels are up off the floor and their toes are nice and pointed the whole time. And stretch those arms out to the side, reach those legs up, hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, and tuck. Don't let those heels touch. Good, let's do that 2 more times. Ready? Arms out, legs go up and hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, and touch. And we're gonna have 1 more set and stretch those arms out, legs go up and hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful control. Good, now grab those ankles and stretch into your straddle sit. And again, if you wanna pause it right here and let them take a bunch of tries, that's great because you have all the time in the world when you're at home by yourself. So keep trying, hold, use your core, squeeze, point those toes. There we go. Good, and tuck those legs in. And shoot them out in your pike, sitting up nice and tall. Beautiful. Let's work those toes. And point, and flex, and point. Now, when they're doing their point and flex, this goes for all ages, they really want to actually move their feet back and forth without moving their knees or bending their legs, wiggling around. So it should be really nice and still, except for the feet moving. And point, and flex, and point, and flex, and point those toes as hard as you can. Reach those arms up and stretch all the way out in front of you and hold. So again, another time, if you want to pause so they can hold their pike for longer, we don't want to be wiggling around. If they're scratching their knee or messing with their tights or something, we always tell them to be frozen like a statue and not move in their stretching except for pulling forward. Good, and flex and pull those toes all the way back, grabbing all of your toes except for your big toes. We leave the big toes out of it. We want their feet straight up and down, not turning out or sickling in towards each other. Good. And sit up nice and tall, arms out to the side. We're gonna work on our opposites, okay? So a lot of my classes know the opposites position. We're gonna grab our right leg with our left hand. Opposites, BB, switch legs. There we go. A lot of them are gonna do that, so I'm glad she made the little mistake. Good, and we're pulling up nice and tall in our bellies, and our necks are nice and long, and our shoulders are pressing down. You can sickle your foot in this position like Isabella. We're trying to stretch up the IT bands, that's the outside of their leg. So a sickle actually kind of helps you feel that a little bit more. It's weird, but it does work. And lower it down. Switch to the other side and turn. And again, you can take that sickle, you can hold. And Tiny Rockstars, if you want to skip this part, that's totally fine. And lower it down. Open to your straddle split. Good, really point those toes on the end, arms are reaching out to the side, and stretch it all the way up and over to your right leg and hold. Right leg. Isabella assists me, so she does everything in reverse all the time. That's a good assistant right there. Good, we squeeze those knees nice and tight. We're trying to push our legs all the way into the ground so that they're not lifting up, good, and that there's no space underneath their knees, okay? Good, and come back up and over and stretch to the other side. Good, make sure those feet are still pointing. Can you all show them big toes towards the ground? That is yucky. We do not want our big toes to touch the ground. So make sure you're telling your kids to keep your knees facing the ceiling and keeping the big toes away. And come all the way up, arms above your head. Gently stretch it out in front of you and hold. Again, in this one, we're still trying to keep our knees facing the ceiling. So we really try to rotate them back so that those big toes aren't rolling in towards the front of the room. Good, you can even flex your toes right here and get a deeper stretch. Awesome. Good. And again, a good time to pause if they want to hold longer. And come up, popcorn ball. Good. We're going to start with our right foot out in front, hands on our hips. This is our pre-split. We're ready. Our hips are both facing to the front of the room. Our shoulders are both facing the front of the room. Our knee is not turning out in this position. And our back toes are pointing to the back of the room. Good. We're going to make that leg nice and straight and put our nose to our knee and hold it there. Good. Awesome. This is a good stretch, parents. Y'all be trying this and send me your pictures. Good. And slide all the way into your right split, sitting up nice and tall. Fingertips are on the ground. Awesome. Now splits, we like to hold on average about 2 minutes per time. So if you get a timer out, you can pause the video and set the timer for 2 minutes. And then we put our nose to our knee. Good. We can reach our arm and grab our foot if we want to in this position, really stretching it all the way out. And then come all the way up, arch it back behind you, and you have some options here. Either you're just holding the arch like Isabella, or she's going to try to touch her toe to her head. Beautiful. And if you really want to take this to the next level, you can reach back and grab your foot and try to hold it, and maybe even try to touch it to the ground. BB's in position of holding foot. Isabella was stretching it all the way out. So this is a really good shoulder opener, working towards that full back. Good. And y'all can shake it out and go back to your popcorn ball. Again, my more beginner classes, you do not have to do all of the advanced levels, or you can. There's no stopping you this week. Good. Put your left foot out. Hands are on your hips. Beautiful. Same thing. Nice and square. And we're going to stretch that front leg all the way out, nose to your knee and hold. Back foot should be pointing straight to the back of the room. Good. That helps them keep in line because we always are talking about square splits with 2 hip bones pointing to the front. And slide all the way into your left split, sitting up nice and tall. This is a great time over these next few weeks to get your splits flat on the ground. Get the timer out, get working, make a chart. I'd love to see some people come back with their splits. Good, and nose to your knee. Make that front foot point harder. Good, and come all the way up and stretch it back behind you. Again, you can try toe to head. I have a ton of lefties. Some of your kids love the left side. And you can try to touch that, lay that leg out to the ground. Isabella, can you grab that one back there? She's just doing toe to head there. She tried a little grab, so that's good. Awesome, and shake it out. All right, we can stop right here.